A customer came in with rough idle and worse mileage. He swore he always buys premium. The catch? It wasn't top tier. We switched him to regular top tier and let the detergents work over a few thousand miles. His idle smoothed out and the light misfire codes vanished. Today I'll break down what actually changed, how intake valve deposits form, and why premium octane didn't help. But detergent standards did. You'll see exactly which brands meet the standard, the simple verification step at the pump, and when top tier makes the biggest difference, especially on modern engines. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like the video. If premium octane doesn't clean, why did switching to regular top tier fix a rough idle? Because octane and detergents do different jobs, and the car was missing the one that actually scrubs away deposits. Octane is simply a score for knock resistance. It tells you how well a fuel resists uncontrolled combustion under load. It says nothing about how much cleaning chemistry is blended in. Detergent content is separate, and top tier sets a higher bar for those additives than the minimum required. A lot of drivers pay for premium thinking they're buying extra protection for the engine. Stations don't make this easier. You'll see big premium labels and a smaller top tier badge off to the side, or not at the pump at all. That layout nudges people toward the expensive button, even if their car doesn't need the octane, while the actual cleaning benefit depends on the additive package, not the number on the sticker. When you split those ideas, things start to make sense. Think of it as two levers. Octane controls detonation, detergents control deposits. Pull the octane lever if your owner's manual calls for it, or if you're towing in heat and the engine is sensitive to knock. Pull the detergent lever every day by buying fuel that meets the higher additive standard. Octane is like a helmet. It protects when pressure spikes. Detergents are like a toothbrush. They don't change how hard you ride, but they remove and prevent buildup, so things keep working smoothly. This isn't theory. Independent testing compared fuels with similar octane but different detergent levels. The result was clear. Non-top tier fuel left dramatically more deposits than top tier. That's the key point. Two pumps can sell the same octane grade, yet the engine will look very different inside after a few thousand miles, depending on the detergent concentration. The rough idle case makes sense, because misfires at low load often come from injectors with uneven spray, or combustion chambers with hot spots. Stronger detergents help clean those parts, which stabilizes idle, even when octane stays the same or drops. Here's a straightforward example you can try. Run regular top tier from a verified station for 1 or 2 tankfuls longer than your normal interval. Think 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Compare that to a period where you used premium from a station that doesn't meet the standard. Watch idle quality, note any flicker in the talk, and track long-term fuel trim with a cheap OBD scanner. You'll often see smoother idle and fewer light misfire events with the detergent-rich option. The octane didn't change the cleanliness. The additive package did. And you don't have to pay for higher octane to get those additives. Some brands certify every grade, regular, mid, and premium, to the higher standard. That means you can follow your manual, pump the lower octane your engine was designed for, and still get the deposit control you actually want. The important step is verifying the top tier badge at the pump or on the station's current list, because franchises can vary, and not every logo on the canopy guarantees the additive level in the underground tanks. So here's the short rule you can use today. Top tier is a detergent standard applied across all octane levels. Octane is for knock, detergents are for deposits. Choose the octane your manufacturer specifies, then insist on top tier if you care about cleaning. When you separate the numbers from the chemistry, the rough idle fix suddenly looks obvious. Now that octane is off the table, let's test the bigger claim, whether this higher additive fuel is just marketing or if the chemistry actually saves you money over a year of normal driving. If it's only branding, why did independent tests find as much as 19 times more deposits when people skipped the top tier badge? That gap doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't show up if all gas is the same. Something in the additive chemistry is doing real work, and when it's missing, engines show it fast. Top tier isn't a government rule. It's a voluntary detergent standard that automakers helped shape because the legal minimum for detergents is low. The idea was simple. Specify more additive and tighter performance targets than the basic requirement, then let retailers opt in. When a station participates, every grade at that location is supposed to meet that higher bar. That's why you'll see the same badge above regular, mid, and premium. Cleaning power is tied to the package, not the octane number on the button. Still, the doubts are real. Brands move on and off the list. Franchise owners change suppliers, and some drivers say they can't feel a difference. If your engine is young, or you switch stations often, you may not notice anything day to day. Deposits build quietly. They start as a small shift in fuel trims, a touch of idle stumble on a hot restart, or a bit more ping under load before the knock sensors pull timing. By the time symptoms are obvious, you've already paid in efficiency and smoothness. Lab work helps cut through that noise. AA's testing saw Top Tier reduce intake valve deposits by roughly 45 to 72% over 5,000 miles, depending on which detergent recipe a brand used. That variability matters. Different additive suppliers, different carriers, and different treat rates change how fast deposits break down. But the direction of the change was consistent. More detergent left fewer deposits across the parts that were measured. Now look at cost. At average US driving of around 12,000 miles a year and 25 miles per gallon, you'll pump about 480 gallons. With a 7-cent spread, you're paying roughly $33 to step up to a verified detergent package for the entire year. Even if that spread is closer to a dime in your area, you're still under $50. One injector cleaning or a walnut blast service for heavy buildup can run hundreds. You can pay a little at the pump or a lot at the shop when drivability slips and codes start to stack. Direct injection brings another wrinkle. The fuel jet sprays straight into the combustion chamber, so it doesn't wash over the back of the intake valves like port injection does. That means detergents in the fuel won't scrub those valve faces directly. But it doesn't make detergents useless. Keeping injectors clean preserves spray pattern and flow, which stabilizes idle and prevents the ECU from chasing trims. Reducing combustion chamber deposits lowers hotspots and can help reduce the chance of low-speed pre-ignition in small turbo engines. You end up with more consistent combustion and fewer little stumbles that add up over time. Finding the right stations isn't hard. Look for the Top Tier badge at the pump itself, not just the canopy, and cross-check the current list before you build a routine. Big national names are on it, and so are a lot of regional chains. But participation changes. The rule is simple. Any grade from a certified pump should meet the standard, so buy the octane your manual calls for, and let the additives do the cleaning. So no, it's not a scam, and it's not magic either. It's a measurable bump in detergency that shows up as slower deposit growth and steadier drivability when you use it consistently. You now know what to buy. Next, apply it. How to pick the right grade, avoid traps, and build a practical fueling routine that protects your engine. Detergents do the cleaning, not the octane number. Verified top-tier stations blend higher additive levels that slow deposit growth and keep spray patterns, idle quality, and mileage steadier over time, especially in modern higher compression engines that are sensitive to buildup. Check your owner's manual for the octane your engine needs. If it allows regular, use regular Top Tier. Verify the Top Tier badge at the pump itself, and keep a short rotation of 2 or 3 stations so your additive chemistry stays consistent. A few cents per gallon now can prevent big repair bills later. Run it 3,000 to 5,000 miles and watch the idle and MPG settle.